Good afternoon, everybody. Uh, Once again, with my State of the Union addresses and what I believe that the Prime Minister should be doing between now and May 2019. Fundamentally, there are four areas of economic governance where he'll have to astutely ensure that some meaningful change is effectuated on. The first area where the government desperately requires to do something meaningful immediately is to lower the rates of income tax. Given that we will have only a vote of account early next year, he has to find a way uh, via Parliament to do this. This should have been done in the first year of his office. Fundamentally, in a depressed economic scenario, when the taxes are lower, it leads to a consumption surge, the marginal propensity to consume increases, and even the marginal collection rate for the government therefore gets higher. So this equation will have to be upheld by him, and he will have to ensure that it is done immediately. Second, he has to ensure that non-performing assets are dealt with in a perceptive and perspicacious manner, because what is happening today is something very much bordering on irrationality. As an indicative archetype, when an industrialist is already facing NPAs on two or three accounts, it's quite obvious that there's something wrong in the way in which he's doing business, or externalities have forced him to get to this point wherein he's not able to service his debt. So therefore, the first thing which has to be done is to study the profile, the business profile of the entrepreneur, to ensure that he would be able to repay. And in the hypothetical scenario wherein there is not much of chance where to pay back, then the government should mothball the assets and carry it over into a special purpose vehicle, an entity formed by the government, which can take over all these NPAs. And the SPV can have twinfold objectives as part of its memorandum of association. One, it can try to resuscitate the asset and sell it. Two, it can, compartmentalize and kind of break the asset into various smaller assets and hide them off individually. So over a period of time, they will be able to get back their losses. Three, given that we've had a very good enactment in the form of the bankruptcy code, the effectuation of that into reality has to be done in a very well thought of manner, because the act per se does have some loopholes, and as an addendum, the professionals, quote unquote, who are supposed to be involved in effectuating these respective transactions into reality may not be up to the mark. So the code has to be rewritten in some parts, and it is again a nodal agency of the government will have to come into play, and they will have to ensure that the tenets of the code are adhered to in thought, word, and deed, and that there is no room for surreptitious play. For given the fact that there's a lot of geostrategic unrest. What has to be done in terms of the foreign exchange scenario is that the government should peg the rupee dollar equation at a firm level for a period of say a year or two. In simpler words, this would be that a US dollar would cost 50 rupees or 60 rupees. And what happens when such a drastic methodology is followed, there could be certainly some negative spin-offs, but it eventually drives home a point that the rupee becomes firmer over a period of time. This will also make us realize our shortfalls, and ultimately it is only the demand and supply of rupees and the dollars which will determine the rate. Unfortunately, that is not the case right now. There are several vested interests at play, and to stymie all of that, when we fix it to a particular rate for a fixed period, we would certainly be one up in the game. That's all for now. Just wait for another broadcast very soon. Thank you very much, and do have a great day.